Hi everyone, how are we all tonight? Well, it's 3:30 in the afternoon here in Perth, and obviously we're speaking to the world. So we're speaking to people in the UAE, the UK, we're speaking to people in Canada, America, Australia. We're speaking to a lot of people from all over the world, and we just want to say hi. Welcome to the Foodie and the Naturopath. I'm Natalie Baldock, the Foodie, and my gorgeous girlfriend Noreen Macdonald is an amazing naturopath and foodie. And together what we do is we do these calls each week and we record them on a certain topic. And tonight we're going to be talking about something that's very dear to our hearts, and the reason why Noreen and I are in each other's lives. When Noreen and I were in high school together, she came in year 10, this beautiful, bright, shiny soul that I just fell in love with, and she became one of my best friends. And then when we moved to in our early 20s, we moved to Queensland together. What we actually had happen was Noreen's skin flared up. She'd had these skin conditions her whole life. She'd had psoriasis and eczema her whole life. And we know now that's an autoimmune condition. And what happened is we were drinking and we were partying and we were just being normal 20-year-olds. And Noreen's skin really flared up and we had a really awful scare with her. She ended up in the infectious diseases ward. Was it impetigo, Nors? Yeah, it was impetigo. And obviously you know what that is. That's like school sores all over the body. And it basically was from her neck and face down across her chest. And there I am with one of my closest and dearest friends in the whole world feeling helpless. And that moment was one of Noreen's defining moments. Her defining moments, because that's what really propelled her into the health industry. And for me, what I did was start looking after myself a bit better. So we went on our own journeys and we reconnected only really, truly, properly 2 years ago. And I just want to introduce my gorgeous friend Noreen to you to share her heartfelt story around her skin issues, and then I'll have a chat to you all later about what we can do about it with food.
Hey, thanks, Nat. Awesome introduction. So, yeah, look, this topic is really close to my heart. I probably will end up crying because it's one of those things that, yes, I worked through it. As you can see, there's no more eczema on my face, but it has been, it was a long journey to begin with. So, to give you a bit of history, for those of you that I don't know yet, yes, my name is Noreen Macdonald. I'm currently working as a naturopath and bioresonance therapist, and it definitely was this journey of healing and having to dig deep and actually looking at alternative medicine that led me into my studies and into my career as a health professional. So really my skin problem started when I was 3 months old, and my mum had to go back to work and she put me on formula and she told me I developed a rash. Progressively that rash got worse. I don't look Australian obviously, but I was born in Perth and getting raised on a diet full of wheat and dairy, which was quite foreign, I guess, to my ancestral genetic, whatever you call it, what I was used to eating genetically. So it got worse and worse and worse. The cortisone and corticosteroid creams got stronger and stronger. We saw one dermatologist after another. And then it all seemingly disappeared, but then I got asthma. Now, I know from a naturopathic perspective, when you suppress something that's trying to come out of your skin and you push it back in, it will go into a deeper organ. And that's exactly what happened to me. It was really amazing. It was like my eczema disappeared and the asthma flared up. So then I was on Ventolin, so more steroids, but in a deeper part of my body. Then when I turned about 16, I discovered homeopathy, didn't even know what it was, and went to see a homeopath and took these tiny little white pills, and all of a sudden my asthma had gone, but my eczema had come back. And now I understand this is when you work with natural therapies, you start to reverse the disease process. So it was back with a vengeance. Like Nat said, we were doing the normal things that you did in Australia when you were 16 and 17, in which we were drinking lots of alcohol and partying. I was on the pill. I wasn't looking after myself, but I did go and see Chinese herbalists and drank disgusting herbs, which really helped me, to be honest. But the point that I want to get to is where I got septicemia. And basically I got an infection, a secondary infection, which if you're listening to this and you currently have skin issues, you would probably understand what I'm talking about. Because it's an open wound, whether it's psoriasis or dermatitis or eczema or impetigo, school sores, whatever it is for you, that means that your skin is open to having a secondary infection, and that's exactly what happened to me. And I was really stubborn because I was studying natural medicine. I refused to go to the doctor, and it got worse and worse. And Nat, I was living with her at the time, and really and truly, I looked like a leper. That's the only way that I can describe it. My whole face, I remember putting a cloth, a flannel up to my face, and it's like my whole face fell off into this flannel, and there was pus and there was blood literally dripping from my face. And it was the one time in my life where, you know, we do say that the state of the physical body is almost matching the state of your mental body, your emotional body. And that I know to be true, because it's the one time in my life that I really wanted to just get out of life. I wanted to kill myself, to be really honest. And I didn't, obviously, thank God. But I ended up going to the doctor, and he was just like, whoa, you're straight to the infectious diseases ward. I drove myself because I was an independent woman back then, still am, but not so stubborn, and checked myself into hospital, and 3 days of intravenous antibiotics later. Now, the third year medical students came and studied me, and they said, look, you're never going to recover from this. You're going to scar really badly. And I want to say to you, if you have skin issues right now and somebody has told you you will never get rid of it, don't believe them. Because if I had believed them and just succumbed to it, well, I would be still in that state. But I didn't, because I know the power of the human body. And when you give your beautiful body the right tools to recover, it can come back from that and from pretty much everything. I think your body can recover from everything. So first of all, I want to say with skin issues, there's not one single answer. If you're going through health issues, skin, any sort of disease state, any sort of problems with your health, I've got to say to you, it's a journey, and it's there for a reason, and it's there for you to discover more about yourself. And that's the biggest gift my skin has ever given me. I never thought to this day I would be sitting here right now presenting on an international call about how to heal your skin, because when you're in it, you don't think you're going to get out of it. Now, skin issues in general are really confronting because you can't hide from it. If you've got something going on inside your body, people can't see it. But with skin issues, if especially on your face, it's there, and you feel like shit, and you feel ugly, and you feel like you're not good enough. All of that stuff that we quite often tell ourselves even when we don't look like that, but it's 10 times worse. So what did I do to heal it? I eliminated the most allergic foods. So for me, that was wheat and dairy. For you, that might be different, but in my practice, those are the two foods that I test up for people the most common, that they're not digesting well. Sometimes gluten as well. I healed my gut. That is absolutely key. So what you've got to understand is with the skin is just a reflection of what's going on inside of your body. It's the largest elimination organ in your body, and you've got to heal it from the inside out. You're never going to heal your skin by putting something on it topically. It won't last. Okay, so you've got to go in and understand that one of the other elimination organs inside the body isn't working correctly, usually the bowel and or the liver. So I did a lot of detoxification. I did a lot of support for those organ systems. But the biggest thing I did is I alkalized my body. So in an acidic body, it leads to inflammation, which all skin issues have a component of inflammation in them. So anything that alkalizes your body, flushing your body with water, literally flooding my body full of fruit and vegetable nutrition and cutting out the acidic foods was a big part of what I did. But I also think the biggest key for me in the end was the inner work. It was the meditation. It was the visualization. You know, I had a piece of paper. I read Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life. And I cut out, you know, on a piece of paper, two 2 rectangles so I could just see my eyes, and I stuck it on the mirror and I said my affirmations. But I had to have the paper, because when you're saying an affirmation like I have beautiful skin and you don't, kind of don't believe it. So it is an amazing exercise to do if you've never done it, by the way, is saying affirmations directly to yourself and not pulling yourself apart in the mirror. I also got into the salt water every single day and into the sun, and that really helped. So I got on this healing road and I got a lot better. And then just very quickly, I'm going to share what happened to me 2 years ago. So I got another infection on a boat in Fiji behind my leg. And this time I thought, oh, that's definitely staph. I'm going to do the right thing. So off I went, and I went to the doctor, and they gave me flucloxacillin, which is an antibiotic, which I didn't know I was going to react to, but I did. And I got hives over my whole body within 24 hours. I ended up in the emergency department. They threw some steroids at it. It got worse. I went back to my doctor, and my face was like, if you came onto this call through the Facebook post I put, you saw my face. It was like really puffy. My doctor said, okay, we better put you on antihistamines. It got worse. And I was on the phone to Nat, really starting to lose it, because I was like, shit, I've been here before. I know what this is like. I don't know what I'm doing. I was really scared, really scared. And I'm getting teary talking about this. And I phoned Nat, and Nat was like, babe, you've been here before. You know what to do. I'm like, she goes, your body isn't enjoying what you're doing. What are we going to do? And she just led me through it. She's an awesome whole food coach. Excuse me. So what did I do? Same thing. Alkalize my body, scald water like there was no tomorrow. I drank green smoothies pretty much all day long. I didn't eat really anything much at all. I just laid off all the foods for my digestion. I had nourishing potassium broth soup. I had a colonic every sort of 3 days, but I only had one colonic in that first 3 days. And I did lots of meditation and lots of breathing. And I'm not lying to you. In 3 days, my face had completely gone back to normal. And I took Juice Plus, which is the product that we absolutely love. I doubled up on my Juice Plus every single day because it alkalizes the body. So that's all I did. I gave my body the tools it needed to recover. I gave my cells what it needed to recover, and the body does it on its own. So I want to really encourage you, if you're listening to this and you have skin issues going on, grab hold of the driver's seat yourself, put yourself in it, and flood your body with the things that it needs on every single level. With skin, you've got to treat the physical, the mental, the emotional, and the spiritual. Yep. So every day, just get a little routine where you're doing all of those things and believing that it's going to get better, and it totally will. So I'm going to hand it over to Nat, and she's going to share a bit more. Thanks, Nat.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, Noz, every time I hear that story from you, it takes me back to that place where, it was a very difficult time when Noreen came to me 2 years ago and said, look what's happened. And she'd actually started purging. We just had to stay strong to commit to her being her own doctor. And I said, please don't go and have steroids. Please don't go to the doctor and have drugs. Trust me when I say you can do this. And we held each other's hands for that 5 days, 7 days, Norris. I don't know how long it was. We just backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And the day she sent me the photos of her face completely back to normal, it was such a big moment for me because, all I've ever wanted to do and all we ever want to do in our industry is take someone back to a place of complete health. And we want them to feel how their body can be their own doctor. So, we've had success in this over the last 8.5, 9 years since we sort of started to coach in nutrition in our industry. And we're talking huge amounts of success. We've helped people, reverse diseases or clear symptomatic responses. We've seen people's energy increase. We've seen all sorts of amazing things happen. But who ever thought that it would happen to a naturopath? A naturopath that was a naturopath who spent 20 years trying to heal herself in the whole time she was healing everybody else. And then all of a sudden she made one small shift, which was to become her own doctor, to actually supplement correctly and eat correctly and meditate and breathe and do all these amazing things. And then she had this huge shift in 72 hours. Now, what we know to be true is that in 72 hours, people can have a huge shift, but you have to do what's required. And this is what's required. I'm going to take everybody through this process. So the first thing is to apply meditation and breathe, because you need to stop the mind and you need to bring the oxygen into the lungs for you to get out of your head and out of your gut, because we worry in our gut and we think in our head, but we've got to get back to this space, and from that space we flood the body with oxygen. Now, without oxygen we die. So we know it's the most important food on the planet. The second most important food is water. You must drink 40 mils of water per kilo of your own body weight each and every single day to flush out the toxins, but it must be a good source of rainwater or spring water. Any kind of running tableland water that is safe. It's very important to understand that just buying bottled water sometimes is not enough when we actually have a serious condition like this. We need to buy the best quality water we can and drinking the right amount. The third thing is to eat a whole food diet rich in alkalizing fruits and veggies. And this means green and clean, and adding in lots of purple. So your beetroot and your berry family are beetroot being, the same look and feel as a red blood cell, and your berries full of antioxidants, which are anti-aging, which are skin food. We need to fill our body with this sort of stuff, but we also need citrus. So we need lemons and grapefruit, and limes. Forget about the oranges. A lot of people have allergic reactions to oranges when they have skin conditions. It brings up too much stuff too quickly. But I have just read this amazing article on the skin of lemons and the skin of oranges and how powerful the nutrition is in the skin. Now, I've never been able to eat orange skin, but lemon rind I put in almost every smoothie if I can, just to actually cut the sugar and to make it alkalizing. So if you're having a berry beetroot smoothie with, say, a beautiful vanilla protein, plant-based protein, and some good fats and some coconut milk or something like that, you want to put in just a touch of lemon with the rind on to actually cut the sugar. Now, it's not a lot of sugar, but you want to just put that in so you're alkalizing all the time. When you make a green smoothie, 4 to 5 parts green and 1 part fruit. I'd put in kiwi or green apple to make it. And then lots of green juices and lots of purple juices and lots of orange juices. So your green juice can be 4 or 5 parts of green and something fruit, and then your orange juice in the middle of the day when the sun's over your head, turmeric, lemon, orange and carrot. Nighttime, you want to have something purple based. So you want to do beetroot, ginger, carrots, apple, celery, and that will ground you because beetroot is grounding. But these things will feed your skin health. It's really important to understand that you need to also, part 4 of this is to eat foods rich in omegas. So you need fish like salmon and sardines and herring and fresh tuna. You also need things like oysters, which are very rich in mineral nutrition for skin health. When we look at a plant-based source of omegas, we want to look at things like avocados, nuts and seeds, things like almonds and walnuts. Almonds look like the eyes and walnuts look like the brain, so they actually feed this part of the body. They feed this upper region. So, and these are very high in omega-3, so you really want to eat a lot of those, but you want to soak them, you want them to be organic. Please don't buy them when you look at the back of the packet and it says packed in China. So it's not the best source of omega-3 fatty acid food nutrition. You want to get organic nuts and seeds. And remember, when they're organic, you only need a few, but when they're not organic, you need a lot. So it's going to work out to be the same price anyway. olive oils and coconut oils and flaxseed oils and hemp seed oils, and all these amazing oils are also very good for skin health. Believe it or not, organic red wine is excellent for skin health, 1 glass a day, and also organic fair trade cold drip or real coffee, cold pressed coffee, real coffee is actually good. It actually reduces skin cancer by 11% with 1 glass a day. Can you believe that? My coffee addiction has just stepped up. But please don't drink shitty coffee with, shitty milk. You want to make sure it's very good quality. But lastly, it's really important to supplement. In this day and age, our food source is not as good as it used to be. We're about 40% less in nutrition in our food, so we need to eat double the amount of fruit and veg. We need to really step up our water. We really need to step up our breathing, and we really need to step up our fats in our diet to feel good and to have great skin. But supplements are so important. So Noreen was talking about how she's on Juice Plus whole food capsules or concentrate, and this was just the start of her healing journey when she was flooding the body with 12,500 nutrients, and it started to impact on the detoxification process. But we also have this incredible product. I'm on this too, by the way, and I've been on it for 8.5 years, and it's been my staple in my diet, and it's kept me very well and high in energy, and it's kept me feeling the very best version of myself for a long time. And I'm completely in love with this product, and obviously always will be. But this beautiful product that Juice Plus company brought out just recently is the plant-based omega. Now, it's an omega-3 fatty acid with 5 sources of plant-based fats. But it starts with algae. We've got algae in it. So we don't use fish fat. And I don't know if people technically know this, but when you take a omega-3 fish oil from the pharmacy, they're getting all the food scraps and they're just cold pressing that, but then they have to heat treat it to take out the bacteria. Now, what happens when you heat treat animals? You get trans fats. When you put trans fats into the body, we get high cholesterol. We get cholesterol response. So what we see is with really cheap quality omega-3s, capsules, we see an increase in cholesterol. Then people trot off to the doctor and then go and get medication. So what we say to people is that krill oil is very good. Cod liver oil is very, very good. Oh, hello, Taj. Sorry about this. We're recording, but this is life of online business. Taj, you go to Kylie. I'm recording. Go away, please. Okay, so I have no idea where I'm up to. Can anyone remind me? Oh, it's
fatty trans fats.
Okay, so what we have created within the Juice Plus company is this omega-3 fatty acids. It's plant-based. It didn't need to be heat treated to take the bacteria out of it because it didn't have any nasties in it in the first place. So it's based from algae, but it's got amazing things in it like sea buckthorn berry and little tiny seeds from plants where we don't technically eat those and chew those and get the fat directly delivered into the body because they're too small to actually masticate. So these are things that are pressed out and put into our capsules, which give us a very high omega-3 fatty acid source. And what we've seen over the last 8 months of this product being in people in Australia in particular is, and also around the world, but in Australia in particular, what I'm seeing with my clients is a sense of calm, better circulation and less pain in joints, and we're seeing a clearing of skin. So we know, guys, please don't talk. Okay, this is it. I love my family. So we've seen so much change in people's skin. So and in other things. But if everything else is working itself out, skin will work itself out naturally. The skin is the last thing to detoxify. So if you start to feel better, eventually the skin will detox. So anyway, Nors, I hope I haven't gone over time, but that's really it in a nutshell.
That was awesome. And, exactly what Nat said is exactly what I did that second time round. And I just want to quickly reiterate that I wish that I had applied what I applied that second time around the first time I got septicemia. Yeah, I did really well, and I'll always thank myself for trying hard that first time, changing my diet and doing all those meditation, beautiful things. But I'm sure that if I had found Juice Plus back then, and if I'd really understood the power of whole foods and the fact that whole foods heal your whole body, and that's where the healing is at, I prospectively could have healed a whole lot faster. Instead, what I was doing, because I was a naturopath, was I was throwing a whole heap of isolated vitamins and minerals into my body. I'm not saying that they didn't have any effect in my body, but what I am saying is that in the last 2 years, I know that my health and my skin has improved even better. I mean, I'm 42 years old, and when I tell people that, they're like, what? Oh my God, no way. And people, it still spins me out. People go, oh my God, you've got the most gorgeous skin. And I laugh, and they must think I'm really rude, because I'm not trying to be rude. It's just like, oh my gosh, I never ever thought back then that anybody would ever say that about my skin. So thank you so much, Nat, for sharing your wisdom with me all those years ago, 2 years ago, and showing me the product that Juice Plus is. And it has helped quite a number of my clients with eczema as well and skin issues. I'm not saying it is the one thing that solved their problem, but we know that skin issues have acidity issues. So you've got to alkalize your body. Juice Plus is a simple way to do that. We hope that we've added some value to you all, and thank you for coming on the call and listening. If you're listening to the recording, please get in touch with the person who shared the recording with you and ask them some more questions about Juice Plus. They're going to be more than happy to show you the science that we have behind our product. We'll be doing the Foodie and the Naturopath talk again in 4 weeks, in 4 more Tuesday nights. And we're going to talk about energy and adrenal fatigue, Nat. I love it. I just dropped that on her. Thanks, everyone, for listening, and have a beautiful night.